a shaila which comes up probably fairly often. Somebody was leaving the shul Friday night after davening, and they were the last one in the shul. They went over to the coat rack, and there was only one coat left, and they realized it wasn't their coat. Someone else had taken their coat. It looked similar, but it wasn't. He knew that it wasn't his coat because his coat had a little rip by one of the pockets. He realized right away it wasn't his coat. It was very cold outside. He didn't know what to do. Is he allowed to take the coat? It doesn't belong to him. So I suspect most people would think that, yeah, you could take the coat, but the halacha is not that way. The Gemara in Baba Basra, Daf Vav, in the Shulchan Aruch, in Choshen Mishpat Simin Kufa Midvav Paskin, Nischalpu Ekelo Beveis Ha'ovel or Beveis HaMishta. If somebody's garments got mixed up, they were leaving a shiva house, or they were leaving a chasana, they got mixed up, and there was only this one coat left, and it wasn't his. Well, he's not allowed to take it. He's not allowed to use it. And the reason for this is because he would be considered a shoyer shalom midas, a borrower without the knowledge of the owner, and it's considered in halacha as gezel. It's considered theft. And this is a problem because he needs the coat, but that's the halacha. Interesting. The Aruch HaShulchan, who was the Rav in Wita, in the Vardik, he says that there was a minig. I read it, he records this halacha, as I just mentioned it to you, and then he says, "Ve'aminig b'mekoymes hagdolim, mokim sherabim misasvim sham." The minig is in large places like shuls, u'manichim haminalim el yoynim beprozder, and people leave their galoshes, pile them up. You go into a yeshiva, you'll see all the hats are sitting in the coat room, all the coats are thrown all over the place, the galoshes are all on the floor. When they leave, they take whatever galoshes there are. They don't look, they're all the same. Nobody's makpid on it, nobody cares. And they each borrow the other ones until they finally they get their own galoshes back one day. There's no theft, because that's the minig. So Moshe Feinstein was asked this question, and he writes, somebody that takes a coat that doesn't belong to him, in this case he took it, he didn't realize it was someone else, only after the fact. He goes back to shul and he can't find his coat. Someone else took his coat. Most likely the guy that guy took it. So the Moshe Feinstein discusses this. He mentions the Aruch HaShulchan, and he says, if there's a minig like this, so be it. But he says that that's only if everybody knows that there's a minig. If there's no established minhag, then you have to assume like the halacha. Therefore, he suggests, Moshe Feinstein suggests, that all large places, shuls and Beis and everybody, they should put up a sign. They should have a board meeting. They should decide this is going to be the policy. If you leave your coat behind, then Tefker, anybody can take it, and you put up a sign to that effect. He says, you'll write it in the minutes. The gam kostav alays in the yard dobuk v'mokim shemadbikin b'chol idyonim. You put it up on the bulletin board. Everybody will know that that's the policy. So that even a visitor who comes only periodically will know that that's the policy. But if there is no such meaning, if there is no such policy, then the halacha is very clear. As I mentioned, based on the Gemara Baba Basra and the Shulchan Aruch, that you're not allowed to use, even if it's very cold outside. You can't say that the person would allow you to use it. Halacha doesn't assume that. And therefore, it's a good idea, or Moshe's idea is a very good idea, that every large place should have such a policy. I know my kid's school has a policy. At the end of the year, they send you a letter for the lost and found. And they tell you that you have, I don't know, a week to collect all my daughter lost a coat, you have a week to collect it. If you don't collect it, it's hefker.
Shuls and mikvahs.
So if they have such a policy, then that's good.
But if it's hefker, can you borrow from it without bringing one?
If it's hefker, it's hefker. Both of us.
In other words, it's raining, nobody's there, so I didn't come with a jacket, but can I take one?
If it's hefker,
And I'll bring it back tomorrow morning.
Yes.